Hi Scope, I'm Marty. I'm a mathematician, and I'd love it if you did a spot of exercise with me on these stairs. Now, like most people, when I walk up a staircase, I move up either one step or two steps at a time. This means if I want to take just one step, there's only one way to do it. However, if I want to go up two steps, I can either take one step at a time, or I can do one big double step. And I can travel up 3 steps in 3 different ways. But I can travel up 4 steps in 5 different ways, and 5 steps in 8 different ways. You can check it out for yourself. Now, if I wanted to find the number of ways to climb up 10 steps, I could either do lots of exercise, or I could do some maths. These are the number of stairs I climbed each time, and these are the number of ways they could be climbed. And in this string of numbers, you can see that each one equals the sum of the previous 2. This pattern of numbers is known as the Fibonacci sequence. It describes how a lot of things happen in nature. And the reason I mention Fibonacci numbers now is because they can give us an answer to our step climbing problem. We can use this sequence of numbers to simply look up how many ways of climbing 10 steps there are. And the answer turns out to be 89. So, maths has just saved me from going up and down a flight of stairs 89 times. And if maths can't help you shorten an exercise session, what on earth is it good for? Hi again, Scopers. Now that my exercise session is done, I've decided to treat myself to an ice cream. And I want to show you some ice creamy stats that are plotted on a graph that looks like this. It has the number of ice creams eaten on one side and the number of shark bite incidents on the other. And you can clearly see that the more ice creams that get eaten, the more people get bitten by sharks. But you shouldn't jump to the conclusion that eating an ice cream puts you in any greater danger of becoming a shark's lunch. And that's because ice cream eating and shark encounters are related, but neither thing causes the other to occur. Stick with me while I run through an example of the opposite sort. There is, for instance, a link between the firmness of jelly and the amount of gelatin you put in. Adding more gelatin leads to firmer jelly because gelatin causes jelly to harden. But eating ice cream doesn't cause shark bites, and certainly shark bites don't cause you to eat ice cream. Instead, these events must be linked by something else. Now, most ice cream eating is done on hot days, and hot days are also the best time for swimming in the sea. And it's only by going for a swim in the sea that you might happen to come across a shark. So, it's hot weather that relates ice cream eating and shark bites, which means you don't have to avoid these to stay safe. Hey Scopers, sadly the ice cream eating is over, but I'm totally okay with the next math problem being about slides. Ooh. This bumpy slide, like every other slide I can think of, is pretty fun to slide down. But I'm also a fan of slides with other shapes, and I'm keen to know which shape gives the fastest ride to the ground. Of course, there is an obvious answer to this problem if you don't set any rules. A slide that would get you to the ground in record time would be a straight slide with an angle like this. Although I'm pretty sure they don't build slides like that, and I wouldn't recommend you try one if they did. The question we're really trying to answer is, if we were to connect the same 2 points with slides of different shapes, what would be the shape of the fastest slide? Now, we all know that the shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line. And it would make sense to assume that the shortest slide would give you the fastest overall ride. But if you think a straight slide is the answer to our problem, you better think again. The answer is a curved slide of a very special shape. Mathematicians have worked out that the curve of fastest descent always fits into a cycloid, which is the curve traced by a point on the rim of a wheel as it rolls along a straight line. Okay, so now I know this bumpy slide won't give me the fastest trip down, but I'm still happy to give it another go.